Hi guys, it's Indrani with the Effortless Life, and I am so excited to share with you my 3 tips on how to overcome guilt. I posted in some Facebook groups and I wanted to see what the challenges mommies have today, and I got some amazing responses. I decided to do a video series so I can help with those challenges by providing some simple strategies to overcome them so then you guys can live an effortless life, because that's the life we were meant to live. So let's talk about guilt, baby. Now, guilt to me is a wasted emotion. It can just sit there and fester in us, and it eats away at us, and it can really get us sick. So I wish that I could take those guilty feelings and emotions and banish them from the universe, but unfortunately I can't do that quite just yet. So I'm going to share with you my 3 strategies that I use for myself and clients to overcome guilt. Strategy number 1 is get out of your own head. Unfortunately, it seems like moms and women in general are so hard on themselves. We're our own worst critic. And, it's really hard. We want to be perfect. And the reality is we weren't made to be perfect. We're perfectly imperfect, and we need to accept that, and life is so much easier when we accept it. So when you are getting out of your own head, you can look at a different perspective. So let's take an example. You feel guilty because you're not able to attend your child's volunteer event, and your child is, bummed out about it. If your friend called you with that and she told you how upset she was and how guilty she felt about it, what advice would you give her? Would you tell her that she's a horrible person and she needs to be banished to Siberia? Or would you take a more gentler approach and let her know that, it's not a big deal, and hopefully you can make the next one, and, you're an amazing mom, and focus on all the good things that you do? Typically, we would go with a more kinder approach, and that's the approach that we should instill in ourselves. We should take our own advice. I truly believe that we have all of the answers within, so we really need to start listening to ourselves and giving ourselves more self-care and self-love. Strategy number 2. This is my favorite. It is all about taking positive, inspired action. So taking those guilty emotions, and how do you create positive, inspired action out of it? So using that same example, what can you do to ensure that this doesn't happen again, or you can attend the next event? Do you have good systems in place where you can create and carve out time for the things that are important to you in your business, your life, your household, and your self-care? If you don't have systems in place, this could be a great idea for you to go ahead and implement them, so the next time you will be able to carve out time for the things that matter the most to you. Another way for positive, inspired action is to compensate and make it up to your child. Go out to get frozen yogurt or do something together and disconnect from electronics and spend some one-on-one time that's full of presence. I've got 2 daughters and I adore them. They crack me up and they're so entertaining. So I love being able to, unplug and be able to spend some quality time with them. And then how amazing is that? You have a guilty emotion and you turn it into an amazing memory. That's awesome sauce right there. My last tip is to future map. And what that means is, take yourself and close your eyes, put yourself 5 years from now, and look back at the event and say, what, is this worth, all the guilty feelings that I have about it? And most of the time your answer is going to be no. So if it's not going to impact you in the future, why are you so worried about it now? It's not worth it. We need to focus on the things that bring us love and joy and happiness. And we can do that even with guilty emotions when we take positive, inspired action and we put it into perspective. So those are my 3 tips on how to overcome guilt. And I hope that you use them and implement them the next time those little guilty feelings come crawling in. I would love to hear your comments below, and I'd love to hear the things that you do to overcome guilt. And if you want more tips on creating an effortless life, come check me out at my blog on The Effortless Life Rocks. And until next time, I'm sending you tons of love and oodles of light.